Texas was once the centre of the oil world, but it fell on hard times as production declined and big energy companies went overseas. But now new technology has unlocked huge untapped reserves in fields thought worthless just 5 years ago. North America correspondent Jane Cowan reports from southern Texas on the unexpected oil boom.
This is the tip of the iceberg, and you know it's a revolution that's maybe 5 to 6 years old, and how much impact it's had on the market is just mind-boggling.
It's literally one of the 10 largest oil discoveries in the history of the United States, and that kind of took my breath away.
Pays great. It's a lot. Don't need no man to take care of me.
Welcome to Carrizo Springs, Texas. Official population 5,500 and growing so fast the signs can't keep up.
It has changed into a oil boom town, a big oil boom town.
In this once sleepy corner of the Lone Star State, the cactus and mesquite trees are giving way to $1 million highway, throbbing with trucks ferrying out the new oil that's suddenly flowing here. It's a pot of liquid gold that leads all the way to Bert Bell's place.
Down there about 6,000 to 8,000 foot.
Under our feet?
Under our feet. So all they got to do is go get it.
This seventh-generation Texan has found himself sitting on a bonanza called shale oil.
And it's good, sweet oil, and I mean, there's lots of it here. When they drill a hole, they're going to get something, usually.
He's coy about just how much he's made leasing the oil companies access to his land.
It's made it to where I can do something because I want to, not because I have to. I want a new pickup, I can go buy it. I don't have to buy one when the other one clunks out.
Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed.
It's far from the first time oil's transformed the lives of ordinary Texans.
Food and up through the ground come the bubbling crude. Oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea.
But this is a thoroughly modern story. By using a new technique called hydraulic fracturing or fracking, it's possible to tap vast fields of oil thought inaccessible as recently as a few years ago.
It's a lot. I guess that's equivalent to an average to large oil exporting country.
As America grapples with unemployment above 9%, workers are abandoning lives and homes in other parts of the country and flocking here to live in motels and RVs.
The company we work for, we have like 3 to 5 years worth of work that's already signed for. But there's 10 years of work down here. There's going to be pipelines everywhere. There's already pipelines everywhere, but we're putting more in.
It's rejuvenating an economically depressed part of Texas.
Just open the door, put a cash register, and you're doing business.
Business is so good there's hardly a bed to be found for several towns in all directions, and new hotels are under construction. In the wake of the Gulf of Mexico oil spill, it's a welcome onshore field. And for the world's largest consumer of oil, it's a surprising boost to domestic supplies that had been considered to be in inexorable decline.
It's like a new Venezuela. If the U.S. has to import less oil as a result of its own production, then that's oil that it pushes out into the market, and that affects the global oil market and affects it right down to the Australia level.
But it's not a perfect equation. More than 90% of Texas is gasping from extreme or exceptional drought, and fracking is a thirsty enterprise. Bill Martin's family has been coaxing onions, melons and cotton out of this land for almost 100 years, and he's never seen it so dry. The water level in his well has dropped more than 30 metres.
If we had been in no competition with the oil companies, it may still be that low, just from the drought. But it is a concern because they are pulling an awful lot of fresh water out of our Carrizo sands that could be used for something else.
There are also worries about the risk of contamination after residents elsewhere blamed fracking operations for the presence of gas in their water supplies.
We haven't seen those problems come up. But it's certainly something to watch out for. Just because it hasn't happened in the past doesn't mean it's not going to happen in the future.
Texas has seen oil booms come and go before. People here are more than happy to take advantage of the jobs and the influx of oil dollars. But what matters most to them is being left with something more than a ravaged landscape and empty RV parks when this is all over.
You've got to balance out the two. The oil industry is bringing a lot of dollars into our county, but you've got to offset that with the worry of what's going to happen if we do run out of water, because it's going to stop that industry and it's going to kill the community also.
Hopefully we can increase the infrastructure where we can build a viable community. What the oil executives say, you haven't seen nothing yet.
Bert Bell is just happy to make money while the oil flows.
This is kind of like the Old West in a way. The cattle drives come in, well, all the cowboys come in, the money come in, everybody come roaring into town. It was a party town for a week, 10 days, and the cowboys all went home, and the town went right back to being what they were.
But there's a lot of Texas tea to be drilled before there's any prospect of that. Jane Cowan, Lateline.